What if I told you that some of the most world-changing inventions and discoveries were never meant to happen? That chocolate bars, antibiotics, and even potato chips were born from pure accidents? Welcome back to Interestingly Quick, your go-to place for the weirdest, wildest, and most wonderful facts in under 60 seconds. Or today, just a bit longer. In this video, we're jumping into a timeline of the most unexpected discoveries in human history. Some were lucky breaks, some were total flukes, but all of them, world-changing. Let's take a trip through time and see how accidents, mistakes, and bizarre coincidences shaped the world we know today. 7000 BCE. Fermentation, nature's boozy mistake. Let's wind the clock all the way back, over 9,000 years ago. The earliest form of fermentation was likely discovered by complete accident. Historians believe early humans stored fruits or grains in containers and forgot about them. Later they returned to find a fizzy, slightly alcoholic surprise. From that moment on, humans were hooked. Beer, wine, yogurt, soy sauce, all of it stems from this ancient accidental discovery. Who knew laziness could taste this good? 2000 BCE. First ice cream, ancient China. Long before Dairy Queen, ancient Chinese chefs experimented by mixing snow, milk, and rice. They didn't call it ice cream, but they essentially invented a cold, creamy treat, all by tinkering with nature. What began as a royal luxury eventually became a global dessert obsession. So next time you're enjoying a cone, thank ancient winter boredom. 600 BCE static electricity, Greece. In ancient Greece, philosopher Thales of Miletus rubbed amber with fur and noticed it attracted feathers. He had no idea what was happening, but he was actually discovering static electricity. It would take over 2,000 more years for us to fully understand electricity. But it all started with a bored philosopher and a piece of amber. 1669. Phosphorus discovered in urine, Germany. Yes, you heard that right. German alchemist Hennig Brand was searching for the philosopher's stone, the mythical object that could turn anything into gold. So he boiled 50 buckets of urine to try to extract gold. No gold came out, but the goop began to glow in the dark. He'd accidentally discovered phosphorus, an element now used in everything from fireworks to fertilizer. Disgusting? Yes. Groundbreaking? Also, yes. 1796. The first vaccine. Dr. Edward Jenner noticed milkmaids who got cowpox never seemed to catch smallpox, a deadly disease. So he did the unthinkable. He infected a boy with cowpox to test his theory. Sure enough, the boy didn't get smallpox. That bizarre, ethically questionable experiment gave us the first ever vaccine and saved millions of lives. Unexpected? Definitely. Crucial? No doubt. 1800. The first battery, Italy. Italian scientist Alessandro Volta discovered that stacking discs of zinc and copper with saltwater-soaked paper created a steady electrical current. He wasn't even trying to invent a battery. He was trying to prove a rival wrong. Turns out, he invented something far more useful. Today, we still measure electric potential in volts, named after him. 1828. The birth of chocolate bars. For centuries, chocolate was consumed as a bitter drink. But Dutch chemist Coenraad van Houten accidentally created cocoa butter while trying to make hot chocolate mix better. The leftover fat? It became the base for the modern chocolate bar. A mistake so sweet, we're still thanking him today. 1853. Potato chips were a prank. In upstate New York, a picky customer kept sending his fries back, saying they were too thick. Annoyed, Chef George Crumb sliced potatoes as thin as paper, fried them to a crisp, and drowned them in salt. Surprisingly, the customer loved them. And just like that, potato chips were born. A salty act of revenge turned into a $40 billion snack industry. 1896. Radioactivity discovered by accident. French physicist Henri Becquerel was studying phosphorescent materials and placed uranium salts next to photographic film, expecting nothing until they were exposed to sunlight. But when he developed the film, it was already fogged. Why? The uranium had emitted invisible energy, radioactivity, without sunlight, a darkroom mistake that illuminated a whole new branch of science. 1928, penicillin, the moldy breakthrough. One of the greatest medical breakthroughs ever happened because scientist Alexander Fleming didn't clean his lab. He returned from vacation to find mold growing on a petri dish. Strangely, the bacteria around it were gone. That mold was penicillium, and it became penicillin, the world's first true antibiotic. Messy desk? You might be onto something. 1895, X-rays, a hidden vision. German scientist Wilhelm Röntgen was experimenting with cathode rays when he noticed a fluorescent screen across the room began to glow. He placed his hand in front of it and saw his bones. He had accidentally discovered X-rays, giving medicine its first look inside the body. Fun fact, the first human X-ray was of his wife's hand. She reportedly said, "I have seen my death. Spooky and brilliant." 1905, popsicles, a kid's frozen mistake. An 11-year-old boy named Frank Epperson left a cup of soda with a stir stick on the porch overnight. It froze. In the morning, he pulled it out and licked it. That icy accident became the popsicle. He patented it 20 years later. Who knew childhood forgetfulness could taste so good? 1945, the microwave oven, radar versus snack. While working on radar equipment, engineer Percy Spencer noticed that a chocolate bar in his pocket melted during testing. Intrigued, he placed popcorn kernels near the machine. They popped. The microwave oven was born, not in a kitchen, but in a military lab. Bonus fact, the first microwave weighed 750 pounds. 1941, super glue was a fail. At first, while trying to make clear plastic for gun sights, researchers created a chemical that stuck to everything. They discarded it for being too annoying. Years later, someone realized it could bond anything instantly. Boom, superglue was born. Sometimes, what looks like a sticky mess is actually innovation. 1948, Velcro, inspired by a burr. Swiss engineer Georges de Mestral noticed burrs sticking to his dog's fur after a hike. Under a microscope, he saw tiny hooks grabbing onto loops of fabric. He mimicked the design and invented Velcro, the now ubiquitous fastener used in shoes, jackets, even NASA suits. Nature is the best engineer. 1952, artificial sweetener via dirty hands. A scientist researching ulcers accidentally licked his finger after handling chemicals. It tasted sweet. That chemical was aspartame, now a major ingredient in diet sodas. It wasn't the first time this happened either. Saccharin and cyclamate were discovered the same way. Lesson: wash your hands. Or make millions. 1953, DNA's shape revealed by a photo. Scientists James Watson and Francis Crick cracked the structure of DNA thanks to Photo 51, an X-ray diffraction image taken by Rosalind Franklin. She didn't even know they'd seen it, but it revealed the famous double helix shape. One unauthorized peak, and biology changed forever. As we've seen, not every genius moment comes from a light bulb. Some of the greatest ideas came from moldy dishes, clumsy mistakes, stubborn chefs, and forgotten drinks. These unexpected discoveries remind us that curiosity, even in chaos, can lead to greatness. So next time you spill something, forget something, or fail at something, remember, you might just be on the edge of history. Thanks for watching Interestingly Quick. If you loved this deep dive into happy accidents and world-changing mistakes, don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring the bell so you never miss a fun fact. Stay curious, stay weird, and hey, keep an eye on that petri dish. You never know.